Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's the author, Andrew Snorton, and guess what? I just finished a great show with the creative team of SportsLifeTalk. Make sure to check them out on Instagram and your favorite social media platforms. Make sure to connect with me at AuthorASnorton at IG. And remember, we got next.
You next up and you ain't been on SportsLifeTalk. Like, what are you doing? Hey, you better hit him up. Look, you breaking next and you up next. Kings and queens go hard. Rising star on the big scene, make them know who you are. You don't break a sweat, don't settle for less. They put you through that test, your resume that flex. Who got next? Who got next? SLT, ready, set, go. Who got next? Who got next? Living my dreams and all your goals. Who got next? Who got next? You can ask B. Jones or head coach. Who got next? Who got next? You next up, so here's my vote. Chill.
Yeah, SLT Nation, welcome back to another banger, another fire episode of Sports Life Talks. You Got Next, a platform that gives exposure to the voices of tomorrow, real people, real stories, real conversation with amazing human beings who are living out big dreams. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what our production team is on right now, but they on fire because we are bringing y'all another smoking hot, amazing guest. Right now we got author, TV host, speaker, journalist, editor, educator, and played Joe, the policeman on That's My Mama. We got Andrew Snorton in the building. Andrew, how you living today, man?
Oh, man, I tell you what, I am so blessed, real talk, and thank you for opening up your platform, not only to me, but the other great people that you're allowing to share our stories of impact, what we're doing in sports and beyond. So thank you all so much.
Nah, thank you, because I saw your resume, sir. I saw the pedigree. Right now, Kevin, we gotta take it to that next level.
That's why that's what I was telling him. I said, man, I thought we were working hard.
I'm trying to tell you. Hey, well, y'all buckle up, because we are going to get to Andrew Snorton's amazing story and how he got to where he is right now, what he has going on. But before we get started, allow me to reintroduce myself. I am the mouth of the South, B. Jones, your host, the 𝐤𝐤𝐤𝐿, Mr. Yeet himself. I'm rocking alongside of my brother from another mother, the architect, the guru, the head coach, KT. Kev, man, how you feeling, dog?
B. Jones, I would say I'm feeling ice cold, but I don't want those problems from the brother of Alpha. So, man,
Kevin, today, no.
Hey, look, we know it's nothing but love and gratitude. So thank you. It's I don't know about y'all. It's finally a break in the weather. I'm actually right now in Central Illinois, and it's finally feeling like Central Illinois. The last few days, bruh.
Well, Kevin. Hey, Kevin, I was planning on wearing, in the rotation, I was planning on wearing the black and gold, right? And I said, I ain't even to step out like that. I don't want no smoke. I don't want the comments going crazy. I don't want nobody looking me up. Hey, they canceled the show before we even get started here, man. Now, real talk, check this out. All my A5A, we love y'all. Fraternities, big ups to y'all. Big shout, big props. Y'all doing amazing things. Wake Forest, hey, we need y'all at this point of the show to show us some love. We have to keep growing this mission. We have to keep growing these stories and keep moving forward. And the only way we can do that is through your love and your appreciation and your help. All right, we got to beat the algorithm. So on the count of three, in Sports Life Talk tradition, we need y'all to smash that subscribe button. Kevin, who am I? Who was that, Kevin? Who was that? That's Andrew Snorton. That's Andrew. That's that pimp pose right there. Oh, man. Hey, check this out. Here we go. Hey, all my 8x8s. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Hey, welcome to the show. Welcome to the family. Kevin and I, we don't do fans. We don't do followers. We do family members. And now you're officially part of our family. Keep rocking with us because we got over 180 shows of You Got Next with amazing stories just like the one we are about to deliver you today. Andrew Snorton, thank you for joining our show. Are you ready for the Sports Life Talk initiation?
Hey, like they tell you, might as well, you got to always stay ready. So let's go.
Hey, stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. All right, let's go.
All right, to initiate you into the SLT family, you got to give us your top 5 music artists.
Top 5 music artists. Michael Jackson, Earth, Wind and Fire, Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, and Tribe Called Quest.
B. Jones, I'm not gassing him up. That's probably my favorite top 5. When he threw Tribe in there, he already said Mike. He said Mark.
Getting 5? He getting 5, Kevin?
No, you better give that man 6. Give him 6.
Let's go. I ain't gonna lie. He hit us with the Tribe, though. He hit us with that Tribe, that Q-tip.
My favorite group ever.
Yeah, they all dope. That was Andrew, where you from, man? What city you from?
Well, technically I'm from Bloomington, Illinois, but lived here for about 3 years before moving to New Jersey. So I'll say Bloomington, Illinois, native, grew up in the state of New Jersey for elementary, middle, and high school.
Okay.
In Jersey, Morris County, which is about 35 miles west of New York City. And then I finished up middle and high school down in Monmouth County, the Ocean Township, Asbury Park area, which is maybe about 40 miles south of New York.
I wasn't expecting him to go that deep into it, KT. I was just kind of trying, because this is going to influence these next couple of questions, but put a pin in that, because we're going to talk about kind of where you came from here in just a second.
All right. So who are some of your favorite sports teams?
Oh, well, growing up, you already see who I'm rocking, the New York Yankees. I know, love or hate it, is what it is. Other sports teams, New York Rangers for hockey. Growing up, Pittsburgh Steelers for football. Trying to think, 2 other sports. Of course, I got to rock the alma mater, Wake Forest University, for college sports. And the last team, goodness, last team, I'll go ahead and say basketball. San Antonio Spurs for basketball.
Respect.
Yeah, we were doing so good until you said that. But all right. So who is your favorite superhero and why?
Favorite superhero? Gosh, my dad. Even though he's not a comic book character, that's who raised me from day one. I have to say my dad.
All right. Since every good superhero needs their own theme music, what would your theme song be?
What would my theme song be?
Since your superhero is your dad, what would your theme song be?
My dad's theme song, gosh, he is such a deep music head. I'm gonna go ahead and say he'll kick me in the shin for this, but like Ohio Players and Fire, because that joke will bring the heat, especially when I got in trouble as a kid.
Hold up, the Ohio Players are the one that sang the song "Heaven Must Be Like This," right? Is that them?
Like I thought it was Fire.
That's Fire, but they have another song. Heaven must feel like this. You never heard that one, B. Jones?
No, I haven't, sir. And I don't think what you just did represented it all too well either.
They're trying to sign me up right now, but tomato, B. Jones. All right. So on behalf of the SLT Nation, we want to welcome you to our family. So B. Jones, go ahead and take it away, Simon Cowell.
Andrew Snorton, welcome to the show, man. Dude, I'm just glad we got you down for today. I know your schedule is just like crazy. Yeah, the work that you putting into this thing is phenomenal. Like me and Kevin, we think we work hard until we looked at your last 6 months, brother. You must be been traveling with Michelle Obama or something, because you are doing some major things. But let's start from the beginning. So you talked about growing up out there in New Jersey and kind of where you ended up. Tell us what it was like as a youth, and how your dad impacted you, because you kind of segued this perfectly. So let's talk about a young Andrew Snorton that got us to the point we are today.
Oh my gosh. Well, shouts obviously to my mom and my dad. They've been married since 1967, still going strong. My dad was very active with me with sports. I mean, growing up, like the Saturday afternoon, like Major League Baseball game of the week, he would sit on the couch with his beverage and slice of pizza. I'd be on the other end with my Kool-Aid and slice of pizza. And I'll be honest, that's how I learned math, when you think about all the stats, averages, things along those lines. But dad coached me and my older sister baseball, soccer, basketball. Mom definitely kept us balanced in regards to mom being a retired educator. Both had us involved in church, from youth group and other, community service things, and making you understand it's bigger than just you. And that really carried on elementary school, middle school, high school. High school, ran track. I wish I had started running track sooner, to be totally honest, but I lettered in track. I lettered in soccer. National Honor Society. Education obviously was a big deal. My mom being a retired educator, both of my parents met when they were students at Kentucky State University. They're proud alums of that institution of higher learning. And then when your older sister handles business and she attended the University of Delaware, rec shop there in physics, it's like, all right, I can't not do something. So just having that, and of course, I can't negate the impact of the elders. So to my grandparents who are with us in spirit, aunts, uncles, to other educators, coaches, and I really have to give a shout out to Harry Baldwin, who was my soccer coach in middle school. And I remember when I was telling him, hey, one of the schools that reached out to me, when you get the mail and whatever, is Wake Forest University. He's like, oh, you need to go there, because that's where I went. And that was kind of like, wow, that was big, that someone from middle school was like, no, you really need to look at them. And the same thing when my dad got the mail, that's like, hey, you need to give them a look. And I'm just grateful for people who chose to invest in me, because they didn't have to. And as a side note, in regards to higher education, I have to give shouts to our HBCUs. Even though I didn't attend one, I know historically speaking, if it were not for the advocacy of people who went to HBCUs, a lot of us wouldn't be at the PWIs that we went to. So we owe a tremendous debt to our HBCU peers. And bottom line, HBCUs are still needed. Don't let them fool you. Seriously.
Well, I tell you what, man, that's first off, shout out to the HBCUs. You hit it right on the head. But man, just looking at you right now, you wearing a New York Yankees hat, right? But looking at your profile, you wear a lot of different hats on a daily basis. Now, Kevin, I don't know about you, man. I've always been jealous of two professions. The first one is singers. People who can sing, I'm jealous of y'all, because that's something that, boy, I would have been crooning to them girls all through high school. Can you woo, woo, woo? I would have had them, right? But but I'm going to tell you, the second profession I've always been jealous of is journalists, right? Because I'm from Louisiana. I cannot write good. I can talk, right? I can talk that talk. I got $1 million mouthpiece, but can't write my thoughts for a lick, man. But with that being said, you got a lot of stuff going on, and you wrote some books, man. I have to talk about these books that you wrote. I checked out the title. What is it? The deep. Oh yeah. Then the deepest sleep, a conversation with Joseph. And I'm assuming when you said a conversation with Joseph, you were talking about Joseph out of the Bible, or who were you referencing when you said?
So let me tell you the backstory on that.
All right, here we go.
I wrote Deeper Than Your Deepest Sleep, Thoughts on Love with Joseph Snorton. The title came from, it was really by accident, but not really. So in 2014, when Dr. Maya Angelou passed, a lot of people don't realize she was on faculty at Wake Forest University for over 30 years. And the ceremony that they had, the one where Oprah Winfrey was there, Michelle Obama, former President Clinton, the late Cicely Tyson, I was actually an invited guest for that and actually served as an usher. So we were escorting guests up until the time that the service started. Then we were able to watch it. But the issue was when I got my invite, it came in the name of Joseph. And I'm like, okay, you can see Andrew to Adam, Andrew to Alex, but you go from Andrew to Joseph. Yeah. Something doesn't add up. And of course, me being the youngest and being a little bit silly, I asked my mom and dad if there's something they wanted to tell me, and they almost threw whatever, the kitchen sink, the fork, the knife. You know, the youngest, we all have a little something going on. But did some research and actually have an extended family member way, way, way on the deep end, like way on the outer rim, by the name of Joseph. So that first book is a poetic retelling of our conversation, looking at the action of love through the lens of family, community, and people in your life or out of your life. But what we did a little bit different is the beginning of each chapter is a portion of the conversation. So that way when you read the poem, you can make more sense out of it, because sometimes creatives can be real creative and they forget they need to bring you with them. So that was my first book. And then my second book, 9 Stories of Faith, Volume 1, real talk, all of us are living with some type of challenge, but some people are living with something each and every day. And the people I interviewed were kind enough to open up about living with a physical health issue like multiple sclerosis, a mental health issue like bipolar disorder, where it's actually a sports journalist I'm really good friends with who tried to kill himself about 5 times before he was properly diagnosed.
5 times?
Yes, sir, 5 times. But what these individuals did, they opened up through their respective faith, which was either Christianity, Hinduism, or Islam, the best practices in health and wellness they used, their support network, but how they changed their way of thinking. So even though they live with something, It's a difference when you live with something versus you have it, because if you have it, it has ownership over you. So even to my colleague who's a sports journalist, actually based out of Louisiana, who I'm definitely going to recommend you talk with, even though he was a bipolar disorder, he covers college and pro sports. He's on NABJ and is doing great advocacy for getting more sports journalists like me, like y'all, to be plugged into these different spaces and places. So even if you're living with a life challenge, it doesn't mean you blow up a city block and then after the smoke clears, like, what did I do? And it doesn't mean you have to do things exactly the way that they did them, but it lets you know that there are avenues that you can pursue so you can still live a life of power and purpose, even if everything isn't perfect with you.
Kevin, did he just call us sports journalists? Because I don't know. I got a little tingling feeling right now in the pit of my.
We need to put our polos on, B. Jones. Got these hoodies, man. Put our polos.
I'm trying to tell you. Hey, no, but that's super dope, man. I'm still tripping off of the 5 times, and I can't wait till we get to talk to your friend. But let's talk about some of these projects you're going on, because you are like out and about. You moving and grooving, rocking and rolling. It ain't a scene you ain't touching, man. No matter how big, no matter how small. You talking to the middle school kids. You going to do symposiums and guest speakers, man. So, man, why are you so dedicated to this? What in you is just saying, hey, I got to get up and go? We'll talk about, I mean, listen, y'all go read his bio. Y'all go check him out at AuthorASnorton so y'all can kind of get the list, because we can't run it down in 30 minutes time. But dog, tell us what the internal factors that get you up every day that's driving you to do so much work.
I think bottom line is the charge I have to keep. Whether known or unknown, there are people who advocated for me to be here, and you don't want them advocating for you in vain.
Yeah. I come from a family of educators too, Kevin. I know you like, what, man? You know,
I do too. I come from a family of educators.
I come from a family of educators, so I know how that charge, right? That hey, you've never been able to settle. It was like I come home with a C, and it starts with mama, then it rolls up to grandmama. You got aunties calling you, and they like, hey, what's going on, man? Hey, listen, they look, this world ain't gonna be nice to you. You a black man in America. You'll be lucky if you make it past 25. Oh. They say what you just another statistic?
Man, look, I am proud of my salt and pepper. I will tell that to anybody. Not only just through the lens of historically speaking, but all of us have been blessed with gifts and talents. And some of our gifts we know and we're using. Some of them we know and we haven't quite used them. But the third variable in that, think about the gifts you haven't tapped into. That ought to be motivation for you to get up and discover and ask questions and go in different spaces and places, because as we said offline, our presence, I'll just be blunt, black men, black women, our presence is needed each and every day. And in some instances, some very challenging spaces, but there are other people, like I said before, known and unknown, that made sacrifices that we might not ever read about, but just because we don't read them does not make them less significant.
Yeah.
So, I just say that to anybody, whether it's through the lens of sports or education, or you just identify your passion and purpose, be principled with it. And, like the saying goes, just try to leave things a little bit better than what, when you got there. And just like as best as possible, you speak life and energy into other people, allow people to do that for you. And we feed off of energy and just try to keep it going. Like real talk, obviously if it weren't for the grace of God, but if it weren't for people who invested in me, who take time, like my grandmom used to say, to see about you, there's no telling where I'd be.
Kevin, sound like we got us our first guest speaker at the 2023 SportsLifeTalk Symposium, don't we, man? Man. Hey, we got Andrew coming down. He gonna have us all ready to run through a brick wall. All right, man. But real quick, I got time for one question, Andrew. I got 1 more minute left of my time. The Conversation Corner. Tell us a little bit about that platform. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing and kind of what's all involved there.
Yeah, so the Conversation Corner is the show that I have that airs every second and fourth Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Status Network, the live TV channel based in Atlanta, Georgia. So we're on break right now, but we'll probably get back up and running for the month of July. But under the umbrella of entertainment, business, community, and more, it's allowed me to interview some great people, ranging from Raindrop Lopez, who's the sister of the late Lisa Left Eye Lopez from TLC, to people who are candidates for local, state, national government, and and just across the board. And I figured, why limit myself? I've had sports journalists to come on, and obviously, hint, I welcome the opportunity to get you guys on. But one of the best stories probably is a young man by the name of Ariane Solomon, who's a rising senior at Howard University, and he was actually a top 10 swimmer in the state of Georgia. And many people don't realize Howard University is the only HBCU with a Division I swim program. And he and another Metro Atlanta native are on that swim team. So like I was alluding to earlier about the need for our HBCUs and the excellence that they produce, that's just another living example. So when I'm able to talk with people across the board, man, it is a blessing. And I'll say this in regards to media platforms. We all talk about the size of our platform, and yeah, the size is important, but the most important thing is understanding you have one, and don't mitigate the fact that you have a voice, a platform to tell something. This is coming from somebody who is on the media list for both senators for the state of Georgia, has interviewed congressmen and women and people in arts and entertainment to quote everyday people doing extraordinary things. So don't you ever mitigate your voice, your platform, because the big boys don't cover everything. And there's so many great narratives that outlets like what you're doing, what I'm doing, and other people who are thinking about it, just understand the power of your voice and understand you are a platform. So don't think that you don't have 50,000 people that you can't make an impact, or you can't be in these spaces and places. And I'll just say this, I know I'm running a little bit longer. This is coming from someone in the sports end who covers college football, and I just covered the Gator Bowl. I'm not on ESPN, NBC, CBS, Fox, or Bally Sports, but I was there for that. I was there when I have the ear of some congressmen and women. So don't you ever underestimate the power of your voice and platform.
Kevin, I don't know what to say, man. I'm left speechless. This man, for the first time, this man has muted the mouth of the sound. I'm so wound up right now, so ready to run, man. God, dog.
Okay, so I do have one question before we get to our championship round. So we mentioned earlier, you're a member of Alpha Phi Alpha.
Yes,
so
sir.
Tell us how you chose them and how can you get me in?
I will answer that question to the best of my ability. First off, with Alpha Phi Alpha, first off, shouts to all of our Divine Nine organizations across the board. I'd be remiss if I did not acknowledge all of our organizations who have a rich history of producing great people across education, business, arts, and entertainment, you name it. Even when you think about the civil rights movement across the board, not just a Ralph David Abernathy of Kappa Alpha Psi or a Jesse Jackson of Omega Psi Phi, but many people don't realize Rosa Parks, Alpha Kappa Alpha. Then you think about Shirley Chisholm, the first woman to run for president, Delta Sigma Theta. So I'd be remiss if I did not mention all of our organizations and what they bring to the table. And I'll say this, everyone cannot do it the same way, but when we do it differently, it allows us to cast a wider net. And if we cast a wider net, it gives us the potential to do what we're supposed to do.
Well,
having said all that, me and Alpha, it really extended from my dad, who's my fraternity brother, initiated through Kentucky State University, as well as two of my deceased uncles who were initiated through Kentucky State, as well as my deceased cousin who, before he passed, was a nurse practitioner at Vanderbilt University. And when I got on the campus of Wake Forest many moons ago, as a visiting student, the students who hosted me, members of Alpha, what I saw on campus in regards to from music to student government to not only doing parties, because you got to have an outlet, let's just be real, you got to have an outlet, but community service and outreach, That's who is most visible. And back on April 13th, 1991, that's one of the best decisions I've made. So 31 years later, having chartered 2 graduate chapters, one in Duluth, Georgia, and my current chapter in Loganville-Conyers, Georgia, it is a blessing, the brothers that I have met. It is a blessing of my fellow fraters of Kappa Alpha Psi, Omega Psi Phi, Phi Beta Sigma, Iota Phi Theta, and also our D9 sororities, our ladies of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, and the newest members of the Century Club, Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated. So again, I have pride in my organization, but I'm not blinded by my pride to not acknowledge what people bring to the table each and every day.
B. Jones, and that's something that's different, man. Because some people they just ride with their frat, and the fact that you gave us that message, it shows me, B. Jones. I want to try to,
Good luck, Kevin. Good luck, sir.
I'm gonna try to get into a grad chapter, maybe, man. Hopefully, Andrew can throw me some, throw my name out there. But B. Jones, I think it's time for championship rounds, man.
Let's go. All right, Andrew Snorton, this is the part of the show where Kevin and I turn on each other, and you are now officially calling all the shots. We call this the championship rounds. All right, so have you ever played a game called Would You Rather before?
Yes, I have. Would you rather? Mm-hmm.
Yep. So the rules are very simple. Both hosts will present to you an option. You select one of those options. Whichever option you select, that host will gain a point. The first host to get 2 points, so the best out of 3, will win this episode's game of championship rounds and will be crowned with glory. All right. And the loser will probably pout their way off for the remaining 5 to 6 minutes of the show. That's just how serious me and Kevin have taken this. And I'm not going to give no total records, but I tell you, it goes 50-50. So we go back and forth with these things. But Kevin was 2021 champion. I'll give him credit for that. But here we go. Hey, who coming off the last win, Kevin? I think you got it. I think you got it. All right, Kevin, you go first. All right, here we go. Round one.
Would you rather have one of your poems turn into a series on Netflix, or
would you rather have one of your books turn into a movie that is filmed on the Oprah network?
I would go with the Oprah network. And I'll tell you why. Because shouts out to everybody who supports me, but the numbers say it slants more towards women. So I would.
See, I wanted to put in there a Netflix series produced by Shonda Rhimes. That's why I should have did it.
It's too late.
That's too late. Yeah, because I already got the point. Let's go.
Go ahead.
Round number 2. Okay. All right, you're a big historian, so this one could go either way. Would you rather go into the future and meet your great-great-grandchildren and see the legacy that you left behind, right? Or
go back in the past and meet your ancestors to see where you came from?
Oh, man, those are 2 tough ones. I would say the past, because that way, if I can better learn the lessons of my ancestors, then maybe we won't do so much jacked up stuff that's going on today.
That's how you treat our guests, B. Jones. Good grief. All right, so round 3. Would you rather have a Nike shoe in the Alpha colors named after you, or
would you rather have the Andrew Snorton Trailblazer Award given to a journalist or educator
B. Jones
that represents their growth and coming out of the ether?
I know I'm losing that one then. Golly,
y'all wrong for that question. And I have to take a piece of my own advice, and I would say the Trailblazer Award, because if that can encourage more people to make the inroads that are needed to help reshape the images that are put on people, some which are not accurate, that will be bigger than having a shoe. The shoe is dope. The shoe's dope. Don't get me wrong. But again, how can I not say that award when we're talking about not making it exclusively about you?
And the reason, will you stop it? Let me say something real quick before you just lose your mind. But the reason why I went with the shoe is because 2 months ago, B. Jones, the Michael Jordan dropped the Brotherhoods.
Yeah,
with the Qs.
That's right.
So they got their own Jordan 1. So I was like, yeah, it'd be nice to have theirs too.
People don't realize Jordan's a member of Omega Psi Phi. He was initially.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Victory is mine. Victory is mine.
Oh my
Victory today is mine. Yes. Andrew, you had that.
Get Andrew. See, this is where whenever he wins, he is not humble at all. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, let the confetti drop. Let the confetti drop. Andrew, I'm on his head. I told him, hey, never mind. Listen, the title of the show is You Got Next. You already told us backstage there's some stuff coming up, some heat that you about to drop.
Oh, yes.
Stuff that you're about to be a part of. So tell us, what does the future hold for Andrew Snorton?
Well, in the immediate future, and I'll hold up the book, Nothing Minor. This is my book covering minor league baseball, and I was very intentional in interviewing as many African-American players as possible because we know those numbers in the major leagues have declined. A number of the players I've interviewed are on major league rosters, but two special things that I've done. One insert, which is looking at it through the lens of one of the umpire supervisors. He's based in Denver, Colorado, African-American who was born in Bloomington, Illinois. So I have two Bloomington kids.
Chopping it up.
The next thing, which is real important, is there's a section on the Negro Southern Leagues Museum located in Birmingham, Alabama. They actually have a larger set of archives of Negro Leagues memorabilia than the one in Kansas City. And I'm so excited. July 9th from 1 to 3:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, I'll be doing a book signing at the Negro Southern League Museum featuring Nothing Minor. A percentage of the sales will go back to the museum to help support their programs and services, and then they will have autographed copies of the book available in their store. I would also be remiss if I didn't mention my time in Central Illinois. Major thanks to the city of Bloomington-Normal, as I was one of the participating authors for their Juneteenth festival. Shouts to the Alpha and Omega Apostolic Church Center, who had me as a guest speaker the following day, and then to Lincoln, Illinois, had me as a guest author and speaker for their Juneteenth event. And I also have to give a shout to Bob's Bay Books in downtown Bloomington, as they're one of the newest stores that is selling all three of my books. And like I said before, you have to acknowledge people who are pouring into you. Also, I'll be back in Bloomington, Illinois, July 30th for their cultural festival. So where it got started is coming full circle. So major shouts to the good people in Bloomington-Normal, McLean County, Illinois, downstate. So
give us that dates. Give us that dates again. July 9th. And what's that location? We want to bring them out. Y'all get out there. Y'all support. Y'all go out there and get the book signed. It's going to be a great day, beautiful day. It's going to be a nice summer day to talk some Negro baseball, because I might try to get up there myself.
Yes, sir. And as a side note, what's great about the Negro Southern League Museum, if you have a group of less than 9 people, it's free to attend. And I think if it's 9 or more, right now it's $1 to attend. And the good thing is it's on the same block as the AA ballpark, the Birmingham Barons, who are affiliated with the Chicago White Sox. And
which is where Michael Jordan played.
Yeah, that's where Jordan played. Even more recently, Tim Anderson, Dylan Cease. I'm trying to think who else.
If they don't know who Tim Anderson is, they better they're finna get a nice little month and a half to watch some baseball. Ain't nothing else going on with WNBA and baseball. Y'all go check out the White Sox. That boy Tim Anderson is a dog. Do you understand me?
He's thorough, but like I said, the museum and the ballpark are right on the same block. So again, July 9th, 1 to 3:30 p.m. Central Time, Negro Southern League Museum is where I'll do the benefit book signing, just featuring the book Nothing Minor. Percentage of the proceeds are going to go back to the museum, and then any of the copies that they have in their store, the percentage will continue to go back to support their great work. And then July 30th is going to be the cultural festival in Bloomington, Illinois. That'll be from 12 to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure to check me out. Those are the two things I know coming up in July. Other than that, just like anybody, working hard, working smart, just trying to expand my reach. Try to share those narratives that oftentimes get overlooked, and just let people know, just like y'all are doing with your show, you're letting people know it can be done.
Well, I tell you what, y'all go follow this dude at AuthorASnorton. Y'all go do it right now. Tap in with this man, get locked in, slide his DMs, ask him some questions. Because to be real with you guys, we went 30, 35 minutes, but I tell you what, we didn't even touch. We just hit the crust. We just hit the crust of the impact that this man is making on our generation and our society and African Americans. I'm just telling y'all, get locked in with this dude. Follow him up.
All right, so this is a part of the show where you get a chance to call out the person that you think should have next. Tell them, hey, I got a chance to rock with B. Jones and KT. I told them my story. I want you to do the same. With that said, Andrew, who are you passing your mic to?
I got two people that I can think of. David Grubb, who with his show Hard in the Paint, doing great coverage of college and pro sports. And I'll say 𝐥𝐢𝐤𝐞 Thomas with Chicks Into Sports based in Atlanta, Georgia. And I think it's important that we see more African-American journalists in general, but they are doing amazing work in the field of sports. And like I said, we are needed. Men and women are needed in these spaces, and those two are doing amazing work. So those are two that I definitely recommend to pass the mic, get on the show, have them tell their stories, so y'all can keep being the resource and the hub you are for fans of sports to just life. So thank y'all.
Hey, David and Carrie, y'all on the clock. It is official. Y'all names been dropped. So we coming after y'all because we got to get y'all on the platform. But Andrew, man, you're an inspiration. You're motivational. Your voice, you're articulate, brother. You passionate. Everything about you is making me feel better. I know my grandmama always told me the cream rise to the top. I feel like right now we are in the midst of something big. We are in the midst of something that is just going to blow the doors off, blow the roof off this joint, man. And I'm so glad that we had you on this platform because Andrew Snorton, you got next. Sports Life Talk Nation. Woo! Hey, y'all best to buckle up because today was just one example of how these shows are rolling, how good these people are, how, like we said, these are the next generation. The voices of tomorrow is here. Tomorrow is here, and we giving it to y'all day in and day out. So please don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Share this message with somebody, right? There are people out there that need to hear the story of Andrew Snorton. They need to get plugged in with this guy. He could be a resource for them. You could be a resource for them. Share this show and leave us some comments. Tell us what you thought about everything. Me and Kevin, we open to criticism if you want to give us some, but we love to hear the positive stuff too, so definitely slide in our comments. Right now, Kevin, any more budget for some free t-shirts? Because I feel like I could give out that 𝐴𝐵𝐴 black and gold if we got a few more bucks in the marketing budget.
Well, it's coming out of your budget again. Since I keep losing championship rounds, I ain't putting no money towards it. So yeah, it's coming out of yours. So let's get them some shirts.
All right. So if you want to get a free t-shirt, go to @SportsLifeTalk on IG, tag 5 friends, leave your name, your size, and your address in your DM. And we're gonna send you a Sports Life Talk t-shirt just to show some love. 2022 has been amazing to us. We're growing. Hey, Kev, we probably go hit 10,000 followers. Like I said, 10,000 family members. We gonna hit 10,000 family members on IG. And this thing, hey, we need your support. We need your love in doing so. And if you want to interact with Kevin and I, we do You Got Next, but we also have a Wednesday night show that we go live. We stream live from 8:00 p.m. Central Standard Time on YouTube and Twitter. It's a fun show. When I tell y'all it's fun, you got to come check us out because we laugh. We just have a real good time. We talk about sports. We talk about life. We talk about pop culture. I mean, anything is anything. It's no holds barred conversation with two other guests, Miss Manhattan and Gemini Jones. Kevin, what am I forgetting, sir?
B. Jones, I think you summed everything up, but you forgot to mention again how awesome our guest was today. Thank you so much for blessing us, Andrew. The fact that what's funny is when people reach out to us, B. Jones and I, we're like, man, I guess we're on that right path, and God put you in our life for a reason, brother. So thank you so much for rocking with us.
Hey, man, thank you all. Like I said, thank you all for utilizing your platform the way that you are. You bring great humor, great energy, and a great spirit. And just as much as I hope I bless y'all bless me today. So thank you both.
Well, Andrew, KT, this show was fire. Sports Life Talk Nation, we love y'all. Stay safe, be blessed, respect each other, and love one another because together we are better. And keep dreaming big because you never know. Your story may be the next one featured on Sports Life Talks. You got next. Yeet.
See what's crazy is I knew you had next, cause you always working, you always grinding, you're in your bag cause you're always working. Like in due time, I knew you got next. Oh, you did it, huh? Crack the code. You got next, you smashing goals. You want next, you need exposure. Well, Sports Like Talk got the baddest show, like the baddest in the room. Podcast to tune into just for you to talk your shit. Talk your mushroom. You are what you eat and you should consume. Sports Like Talk from the late night to the afternoon, then rest repeat. Hit the like, leave a comment, or subscribe so you don't miss a beat. You got next, just a small taste of a winning meal from a chef type of celebrity. What's up next is you, at least you better be. Yeah, you got next, yeah. I can feel it, you're a winner just like me. You got next, and what comes next? Tune in next time and you'll see. Cause if you got next, yeah, if you got next, if you got next, then you're just like me. If you got next, if you got next, yeah, if you got next, then you know where to be. I'm talking sports life, talking this.